Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, Shreya, you are audible.
Okay. So, welcome. I welcome you all to the fourth day of Android Study Jams. So today I, Shreya Kumari of IT second year, and
And myself, Mrityunjay Pandey from Textile Second Year.
so today we are both are going to cover the Firebase part. So I will be covering up the introduction to Firebase, and then Mrityunjay will cover up the further part, that is the Firebase authentication. So let's get started. So hope you all must be doing really well. And till now, whatever you have seen means it was mostly to the front end part, like means the different layouts like constraint layouts, linear layouts, and different views such as means image view, button view, text view. So these all were means mostly front end part, but today we are going to get started with the backend part, like means the storing of data, authenticating a user, like this. So means now what's the need of it? So till now we were storing the data such as the images which you were using in the recycler view in your Android Studio. But that data you can only see on your studio. But an actual app cannot work like that. अब ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि जो डेटा आप देख रहे हो वो आपका फ्रेंड ना देख पाए. एक ओरिजिनल ऐप में it should be means like universal, so you need to store a data in a different computer from where it can be shared among all the different user, which is called as a server. So and the data present over there is called as database. Similarly, जो भी आपके ऐप को यूज कर रहे हैं, you need to authenticate them so that you can keep track of your user. For that we need authentication. So means these are the different fundamental features which we require for our app. So there are different ways to use means to integrate these different services. However, we are going to use Firebase for it. So means there is a reason behind it why we are going to use Firebase, and that I will tell you later on. So first of all, let's get to know more about Firebase. So Firebase is a Google-backed mobile and app development platform. So means it's not just for means apps you can use, means it's an app, it's a feature which you can use for means web development also. And it is means Google, which is a well-known and authentic company, and a multinational company. It is means it is backed by that, so we can rely on it. Second point, it is based on backend as service BAS system, which means that you need not to worry much about the backend part. You just need to think about the front end. Means आपको बस front end के बारे में, आपको बस बटन के बारे में सोचना है, आपको बस लेआउट डिजाइनिंग के बारे में मेनली सोचना है, और जो पीछे वाला काम है मीन्स जो बैकएंड का काम है, जो मेन जो सर्विसेज हैं वो आपको ये प्रोवाइड कर देगा. So you need not to use much of your logic. Okay. Third point, it consists of several pragmatic services and purposeful APIs to develop high quality applications. So means ये हम लोगों को रियल लाइफ बेस्ड प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करने में हेल्प करता है. मीन्स जो आपको एक्चुअली आपके ऐप में जो रिक्वायर्ड है. Second, API. It must be a new term to you. So let me give an briefing about it. Later on, you are going to means in our later sessions we will cover it in detail. However, अभी मैं आपको थोड़ा सा introduction दे देती हूँ. So it's an application programming interface. So what does it does? तो अगर आप लेट अस कंसिडर आपको एक वेदर ऐप बनाना है, एक ऐसा ऐप जो कि अलग अलग प्लेसेस के टेम्परेचर्स एंड वहाँ पे अपकमिंग वेदर सिचुएशन लाइक वेदर इट्स रेनी और मीन्स फ्रॉस्टी जो भी है वो बताए. तो आपके पास दो चॉइसेस हैं. आइदर आप अपना एक स्पेस स्टेशन बनाओ, एक सैटेलाइट लॉन्च करो, आफ्टर दैट उससे सिग्नल रिसीव करो कि कहाँ कहाँ डिफरेंट प्लेसेस पे कैसे वेदर, मतलब यू नीड टू फॉरकास्ट इट. ओके, और फिर वो डेटा जो है वो आप अपने ऐप में यूज करो. और देर इज अ सेकेंड वे दैट कुछ जो स्टैब्लिश्ड मीन्स कंपनीज हैं जो ऑलरेडी मतलब डिफरेंट डिफरेंट स्पेस स्टेशन से डेटा ले रही हैं, उनका डेटा जस्ट आप यूज कर लो थ्रू एन इंटरफेस. ठीक है, तो मीन्स इट्स कंप्लीटली योर चॉइस. हाउएवर आई विल प्रेफर द एपीआई वन. सो एपीआई एक ऐसा इंटरफेस होता है जो कि डेटाबेस से जो है डेटाबेस से मीन्स डेटा जो है फेच करने में हमारी हेल्प करता है, because you can't directly access the database. So means it was a brief idea about API. So for each service we need API. However, Firebase एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है जो कि डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सर्विसेज के लिए हम लोगों को मीन्स वो फैसिलिटी प्रोवाइड करता है. Fourth, further, it also has an easy integration process with Android, iOS, and Unity step-ups using which apps can be built for all the leading mobile and web platforms. So it's not just for Android. You can use it for means iOS also. I will show you the in the it's yes its documentation is really helpful to get means a complete detail about Firebase. So I would like Sanyam, can you share the documentation link to them? I hope it must have been shared till now. So एक बार देख लेते हैं how it documentation look likes. I think it must be visible. So here you can see the different features which are present, like authentication. So like means authentication you can read, and for different platforms, like it's for iOS also, for Android also, for Flutter, for web, for C means for different platforms it is there. Similarly, you can go for its another service like real-time database. How means this will tell you how to implement all these things, how to get started, how to structure your data, how to read, write. Means all of the things you can get to know about whatever you want to get to know about Firebase, you can read about it here. Okay. Okay. So let's move ahead. Okay. So means it the slide prompts Firebase लगा डाला तो live झिंगा लाला. So now let's see how. सो मीन्स अगर आप अलग अलग सर्विसेज यूज करना चाहते हो तो मैंने बताया कि आपको एपीआई कॉल करनी पड़ेगी, मीन्स एक इंटरफेस को कॉल करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, तो उसके अगर आप जितने नंबर ऑफ सर्विसेज चाहते हो आपको उतने नंबर ऑफ एपीआई कॉल्स करने पड़ेंगे. अगर आप दूसरा ऑप्शन के लिए जाते हो, अगर आप फायरबेस के लिए जाते हो तो मीन्स यू जस्ट नीड टू इंटीग्रेट फायरबेस टू योर एंड्रॉइड स्टूडियो एंड देन यू आर फ्री टू यूज एनी ऑफ द सर्विस. बाकी का काम सारा फायरबेस संभाल लेगा. दैट्स व्हाई इट्स कॉल्ड एज बेस. ओके, मीन्स whether it's authentication, whether it's real-time database, where it's Firestore, where it's messaging, where it's ML kit, everything it's going to handle. ठीक है, that's why means it makes the development part very easy for you. Means just few lines of code and you are done with your backend part. Now let's see some of the features of Firebase. There are multiple features, however we will see just the means important one which are mostly used. See, here you can see the different features like that's First of all, to build a better app means those features which are mostly used. So first of all, authentication, as I told you. So Firebase provides us the different ways of authentication, like Google authentication is there, Facebook authentication through GitHub, through your phone number. Then after that, you can through your email and password. There are different ways of authentication, how you can authenticate the user. Second is cloud functions, means actually Firebase is related to, is just means connected to Google Clouds. So from there also you can use its different services. Third, Cloud Firestore. So it's actually a database where you can means store your data, means in a what I can say, in a hierarchical manner, like in the form of documents, then then inside that there will be a file like that. Fourth is cloud storage, which is used to store the images and means similar kind of data. Fourth, hosting. Then ML kit, means ML machine learning kit, that means by integrating which you can means easily identify different things, like uh, if there is an image, or whether it's in person or it's in flower, like this you can use, integrate the ML kit, and means you can use this feature in your app easily. Then there is real time database, which stores the data in JSON file, in JSON file form, so that means in a hierarchical manner, you can say. Then the second thing is improves app quality, like Crashlytics, performance monitoring through the we will see in our Firebase console how means you can monitor as well as analyze whatever is going on your app. Then to grow your app, you can analyze how many reads and writes are going on your app. Prediction, cloud messaging, that's use means which you can use for means chatting. Then in-app messaging is there, remote configuration, dynamic links. These are all the different features of Firebase. However, the most important things are first of all authentication, Cloudflare store, storage, real-time database, all of these which serves as a database, and MLKit is also essential, which means which really improves the level of your app, and which most of you will be using in your future. And yeah, this was all about the features of Firebase. So this is how the Firebase console looks. So um, if you want to see, uh, so let's see how the console actually looks like. Let me share it to you. I hope it must be visible. So now let's get started. This is the Firebase console, how it looks. So let's get started. Okay. So means these are my different apps which I have made using Firebase service. If you want to make a new project, you can add a project. However, for now, I like to show one of the means already existing project. So means this is the Firebase console of the same app which you must have seen in your previous session, that meme app. Yeah. So here you can see that inside build, these are the different services which the Firebase can provide you. Like authentication is there, Firestore database, real time, storage, hosting, function, machine learning. We can just see each of them. Like this one is the authentication. So see here, you can see You can see the different methods to sign in or to authenticate the user. So this is the means authentication part. Okay, how it looks. Now let's see the real-time database, how it looks. So here you can see how it's stored in the JSON file form. Okay, means like tree form. Then here you can see the Firestore database. Yeah, yeah. So it stores the data in this form. Means like collection. Then inside a collection there is a document. Then inside a document there will be fields like this. Okay. This is the analytics part where means you can wait. Let it get loaded. Yeah. So here it's the means analytic part where you can see how many reads, how many writes have been done to your app. What's the means download space, now storage space. So means from here you can analyze what's going on there in your app. Uh, these are the other different features like crash lights, performance, cloud messaging. Okay. Okay. Now, okay. Let's see here. So means what are the different things which you need to means how you can integrate. So means after making a new project, however means Mrityunjay will show you how to integrate it. I am just giving the briefings. So here you can add your means project name, then your it will all means generate the project ID itself, and here you need to add your SHA-1 code. Okay, like here you need to add your SHA-1 code, so that means your uh, Android Studio can get connected to your means Firebase console. Okay. Okay, so means this was I think all about the Firebase console. So if you want to see now, I can show you how the means why we are using Firebase only. Why not any other means database? For that, I will need to present my Android Studio first of all. Okay. Wait for a second. Yeah. So I think it must be visible now. Is it visible? Yeah, I think it's visible. Okay. So here you can see It's an Android project, and inside the tools we can see that there is an option to Firebase. So means from your Android studio you can directly connect, means you have an option to integrate the Firebase directly. Hence means we are mainly, this is the main reason behind using Firebase as a database. And see here you can see what there are different options to means use the different services. So if you want to use authentication, here are multiple means options like authenticate using Google, or authenticate using Google and in Kotlin language. Similarly, for real-time database, it's there. For cloud store, for Cloudflare store, their options are also there. Means it provides us a direct option to connect us. Okay, so it's the main reason behind using Firebase as a database. So this was all about means this was all a brief introduction about Firebase. If you want to know more, uh, you can means explore the documentation part, as well as means there are different videos also present on YouTube. You can refer that also. And if you face any problem, you can always ask me, or I think the group link is also there, so you can contact, you can ask anyone there. So now I would like to means hand over to Mrityunjay.
Hello, hello, hello. I am audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, okay. So, as I told you about the Firebase, brief introduction about Firebase. Now I'm going to tell you about the most important feature of Firebase. That is the authentication part. And as the word suggests, authentication, like this means that we are authenticating something, means we are validating something. Like from the screen you are seeing the Spotify welcome screen. It is written sign up free, continue with Google, Facebook, Apple, and login. What is it? It is just verifying ourselves with some third party application, that is Google, Facebook, Apple. So similarly, we are authenticating ourselves. We are proving that yes, this is me, this is my identity, this is my email address, and it is going somewhere where it is getting verified that yeah, this person is the same whose email ID belongs to. So this is the basically authentication part, and this is the most important feature of Firebase. So moving further, easy sign in any platform. Authentication basically gives ways of like Google, Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, and phone, and this all can be used as a verifying partner for ourselves, for an individual user, and this all can authenticate because these are some big companies who are carrying big data. You can imagine that tons of millions and millions of people are logging in something, and their data is getting stored in some big databases which is stored somewhere, and we are sending requests to that database and fetching data, which Shreya had told you already, that API and all these are just for fetching the data. And the same goes here, like we request Google to send our data and verify that the same user is authenticating it. And there are various ways. I am showing you some of the ways, like sharing my screen. Wait a second. Ha- okay. So this is Firebase open. I think all you know how to open Firebase, like Firebase. This expect get started. Here you will get, if you don't have any project, then you can add project, or if you have any, then you can click on any of the project. I'm just showing you that how many authentication partners are there in Firebase, as Google is occupied by Fire. Here in the build method, authentication part, and sign in method, add new provider. Look here, additional provider: Google, Facebook, Play Games, GitHub, Apple, Game Center, Microsoft, Twitter, Yahoo. These all are big multinational company who own their data warehouse where they store data, and we all send request to those data from where they get verified, and the request which we sent, that get fetched to us with yes or no. Like if our email and password is correct, then we get access, otherwise access is denied. So this console part you already get it. Authentication. So why this Firebase authentication part is needed? The basic reason is security. Why we need authentication, why we need verification? Just for the security purpose. Why security is needed? Suppose we own a app, and if that app has a 60 invalid entry, because that invalid entry can fetch the data from your application, they can breach the data. Okay, so that is not basically faithful for the application, for the other user, because this may lead to the other false information which is not required at that stage. Suppose we are you have a YouTube channel. Okay, so you created your 10 email IDs, okay, and giving views to those videos. So that 10 will just record it only as a 10, that will never go more, because you are viewing it from different IDs. So that is totally fake. So the same goes applies here. If you all the fake users will sign in your app, then definitely one time you will get a use number, but that will not work, because another day you will not do the same, another day will not do the same. So definitely we need to get verified users from some part, so that our app can manage in the modern era. Okay, so Firebase security applies Google internal expertise. Firebase is owned by Google, as we all know. So Firebase security applies Google internal expertise of managing one of the largest account database in the world. Why it is largest account database? Because we all use Google and we all sign in. Means everybody is using Gmail, I guess, nowadays. So that is one option of sign in. So once we sign in, we send our data to Google, and they store in the largest database, because Google has the largest database, around 2.3 billion or more than that. So that is a big data, that their data warehouse is one of the biggest among all the MNC, in compared to Microsoft, Uber, Yahoo, and all. So Firebase is definitely totally dependent on Google security, which is of course of no questioning, because Google is a very big company and definitely it is trusted. So this is managing our data. Okay, fast implementation. Definitely, if we will have suppose we are having our app. Okay, so we will need to write our database. Okay, we need to store the user information, and we need to line of thousands and thousands of code to manage that database. So definitely this is very much time consuming, which we do not require, because we are having an option of doing things in just 10 to 20 line of code. Then why we need to use that 200 and 2000 and 3000 lines of code? This doesn't make any sense. So fast implementation is very necessary. It can take months to set up your own authentication system. Like you need to write code, you need to hire developer. So this is all a time taking process. and it requires an engineering team to maintain that system in the future. Definitely, if you will be having, suppose you collected thousands of users, okay, then you need to verify, you need to maintain that database permanently, you need to update that database day by day, so you need a very good team to manage that database. So definitely, so set up the entire authentication system of your app in under 10 line of code. What Firebase do? This is the same thing that set up the entire authentication process in under 10 line of code. I will show you the code as well, that how 10 line of code is enough. Okay. So we are now starting the authentication part. So I hope you all will open the Android Studio. Open your Android Studio. Okay. I am also sharing my screen. My screen is visible. Can anyone confirm? Hello. Sayam, are you listening? Is my screen visible? Sayam, Shreya, can anyone tell? Sayam, is my screen visible? Okay, 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 yes.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
okay, okay, thank you. So, how we will add Firebase to our application, to our native application. So here first you will have to go to a file. I am showing you how you can add. Suppose you are having an existing application, like I am having also. I will create here like new project and empty activity. Next, suppose this is GDSC sample underscore GDSC. Okay, this name given, then finish. This may take time depending on your internet connection, so I am showing you. Hope it doesn't. This Gradle will take time. Okay, you will have to wait for it to get it built successfully. And if your net connection is slow, then it might take a long time. If you have any doubt, you can put in the comment section as well. Our team will definitely will answer it. So Gradle sync successfully finished. Now we are starting our application. Okay. So here there is option tools. Like in the navigation bar, you will see tools, and in the tools, when you will get here, you will see Firebase. I hope everyone will get this. When you will open the project, you will get here tools, and then here you will get Firebase. When you will click it, you will get this type of toggle bar. This type of toggle bar. Okay. Then at the second option, you will see this authentication part. This one, authentication, second option. When you will click it, you will get the option here, authentication with Google Kotlin. Facebook login, then Facebook login using Kotlin, then other authentication system custom which you will create. So here you are using authenticate with Google Kotlin, this second option. Okay, because here you are using Kotlin, and this authentication part we will use with Google. So we clicked on it, then you will get option what we had done till now, that is tools, then tools, this Firebase, then this Firebase, then this authentication, then authentication with Google Kotlin. Then you will click this. These are the steps which you need to follow. First and the second one, rest will be automatically get completed. You don't need to worry about. So this connect your app to Firebase. First way you will need to connect the app to Firebase. And before connecting, what it toggles, like your application need to be built before connecting to Firebase. So click on the build option, then it will take time for building. Wait for the building process. You might get issue like what I am getting, so let me remove it. What issue is there? You might get this, or you might will not, depending on your Android version. Okay, so after ding we are syncing. Okay, sync, then connect to Firebase, then we will build. This time building take place. Hope it builds successfully without any error. It will take time. You don't have to worry much about it. Yeah, build successful. Okay. Then we had connected it. Then build successful. Then we will click on it, connect to Firebase. Then it will open the new screen like this. Okay. So this connection got happened. Done. Launching Webflow. Okay, you don't need to take worry about Firebase, sample app, Meme app, Caros. These are my apps already have. So sample app. This is connecting. You will have to wait for it. Your Firebase Android app has been created in Firebase. Okay. So connect. It got connected. Then you will have to be back. Then this might, it will not show a green tick. Maybe it will take time for green tick. So we will do the thing. You don't need to worry about that why it is not green here, tick process. It will automatically happen when we will add the Firebase authentication SDK to your app. So here these two things is required and one is already there. So we'll accept changes. This we can already copy as well. Then we can paste it. So this will also take time because every time this build method will run Gradle one. So this here is showing connected, and this is here green tick with dependencies set up correctly. So we had also added dependencies, and we had also connected our app to Firebase for the authentication purpose. Okay. Now we will go to our Firebase. Okay. Yeah. We will go to our Firebase. Get started. There here we will add SHA-1 code. Okay. Because I will explain you the sample app. Okay. Here in the project overview, this is the setting option. We will click it and then we will go to project settings. Then we will get at the end, and here we will see fingerprint, add fingerprint. This is basically what here we will add. I'm showing you first, okay? Then I will explain you that what I had done. Uh, okay, let me explain first. What is Savan code? Savan code, I will tell you. Savan means SHA, okay? SHA1. SHA means secure hashing algorithm. Basically, you can see encryption and decryption. You can relate it to. Okay, like we when we write A, it got to in binary form, so that people can't easily understand it. Okay, we are basically, you can say, just for the sake of example, we are basically encrypting it and it's, changing a language to another so that people can't understand it easily. It is mostly used in the cyber security side. Okay, so just for the little knowledge, SHA1 is means secure hash algorithm, which is used for cryptography. Cryptography hash function, and it's produces 160 bit around, means 20 byte hash values. Okay, and this hash values is called as मैसेज डिजिट विच जो कि मतलब बाद में डिक्रिप्ट हो जाता है, ओके, एंड विच इज रेंडर्ड, एंड इसको हेक्साडेसिमल में कन्वर्ट कर देते हैं हम लोग. Might be you are not getting this terms as hexadecimal and decimal and all. So basically you understand it is used for the security purpose, and it is unique for all the androids. Okay, like my android my Android have some another Shavan code. Your Android version has another Shavan code, so don't need to match it. You need to copy it from your Android Studio. Like I am showing you how to copy it. This basically act as a verification for your Android. Okay, so you will need to see here, like see Gradle. You will need to click it. This Gradle in the side one Gradle. You will see sample GDSC, okay, my application. Then you will see another a folder task, and in the task you will have to go to Android, and Android even go to signing report. Okay, when you will click signing report, this will happen in the console part. Okay, then you will see here Savan code. When you will see, then copy it. This is the Savan code which I was talking you about, a unique code for your Android Studio. Then you will have to add fingerprint. Then here you will paste it. At the 7, don't forget to copy the code exactly it is, and you will have to save it. Okay, I had already added it, so it will not add again. So if you are not adding it, then you can add it. Okay, yeah. In my sample GDSC project, I had added my Shavan code. Okay, hope you got. Like I'm showing you again. I will delete this code. I will show you. This is my application, and here you will see add fingerprint. Add fingerprint. I will paste it, and I will save it. So this Shavan code got added. Yeah. Then we will see here again this build method. Then here in the authentication part, you will move to, okay. Then in here sign in method. In the sign in method, I will remove this delete provider. I will show you again. So here additional provider, you will click on the Google. Then here you will enable authentication. Okay, then here project public facing name and project support email. You will have your email over here. Okay, drop down we will select it, or it is auto selected. Then you will click here save. Can't enable download latest configuration. Yeah, it got enabled. Okay, no issue. Now we will move back to our Android Studio. So here what we will do. Now we had seen how we edit. Now we will need a button. Okay, so let's do our layout. Where is our layout? In the layout section we will create a button. Okay, before creating button, let us you download in the Google you will use Google sign in image. Here I'm selecting this image. Okay, then I will copy it here. Then in the drawable folder I will paste it so that I can use it. Then in the layout I will use image view. In the previous session you must have learned about how to drag and drop these things. Then I will click image. Then this got added. Then we will have to fix it at the center or depending upon your design. Okay, then we will, yeah, constraint it. Okay, yeah, we will constraint it. So this is our button, okay, in which we are using this image sign in with Google. Till now I hope you don't have any doubt. So after this thing, we will give it a ID so that we can verify it. Yeah, the button which we are using, it is the same what we had put it there. So in the image view, we will add ID as what ID. Let's say GDSC underscore A4. Okay. Wait a second. Image underscore Firebase. Yeah. Another error set context encryption more action. Let me fix error. Yeah. So our ID is image underscore FB. Okay, you can give any ID for your identification purpose. So now this layout we had completed. We had added a button. We had done the authentication. Now we will connect. Means अपने हमने button तो बना लिया. Now we will put our button to the application. Okay. So for that we need to import our button. So for that I will use it here. In the main activity kitty we will use val button equals find view by id image view. Okay, image view. Then dot id dot what was our image dot fp. This was our id. Then button dot set on click listener. So why it is giving error? Wait a second. Let me import. Yeah, let me import these things. This authentication one still I will copy it once, I will paste it again, then not name, what is was image underscore fp. Wait, uh 1 second, let me fix it. Hmm, I guess there's some Android issue. Okay. Got it. Yeah. So this I will show you again. We had created that button. Now we will add that button to our application. So for that, that is valid button equals find view by ID. This is image view. Then we will call our id r.id dot image fb. Okay. Then we will add button dot set listener, set on click listener. Okay. Yeah. So importing this thing. Yeah. Now it's okay. Yeah. So that's fine. Now we had added our button to our application. Okay. Now we are switching to before that ye meme application. The same thing we are using here. We had added the code snippet as well. So this thing we had imported. Then we had used activity login. Then wait a second. Yeah. So here what we are doing, Google's GSO, we are using GSO as a variable. So we are assigning Google options, that is building a sign in part from that image. Another thing is requesting, it is requesting our ID, which is unique for all, and what we enter for our authentication email. So it is requesting email, and then building the whole application process. Then it's sent to the GSO, okay, which is here. It is called by here. Okay, this GSO is defined here. So another, then authentication is done. Then it is returned. Okay, then sign in button. That is the text view, and another ID we had set up as well. And this sign in one, this sign in function, we are authenticating using sign in function, and this is here, and this sign in function is defined here, which is private, definitely. So this sign in we are defining here that it will accept sign in and sign out part, and in case of uh, acceptance, it will return the data, and it will return the message, yeah, it's successful. And if it will not will means if the login is failed, then it will return Google sign in is failed. Okay, and it will update the UI, its UI part according to the changes which we had made. So there is not much issue about this part. And then this task is successfully completed. This what I am saying, that message Google sign in is failed, and if this is accepted, then Firebase authentication with Google. This is the message which we will return, and all in the form of the token part with the authorization. Then yeah, there is the task, that is, if the task got successful, then we will have to move to the next task, that sign in success. What it is written, sign in success, update UI with the signed in user information. This is the next part. If it got successful, that means this if statement is true. Otherwise, if the sign in is false, then it will toggle that with the login activity help, that sign in with credential failure and task exception, and it will come out of the yeah, authentication service which we had provided using Firebase. Okay, and if it compiled successfully, that means sign in success. Then UI got updated and login successful with the text, and this toast will occur. Okay, which means lens sort, and this intent will happen. Okay, and start activity, which will be means the next activity which we will perform after the authentication got start, like when we verify, suppose we are using Facebook, then when we log in, then after the login, if the login failed, then definitely it gives us a message, either the user ID or password is incorrect. Okay, and if the yeah, authentication goes well, that means it is the right credentials. Then what we got enter in our Facebook yeah, home page, where we see different option, menu bar, context menu, navigation bar, and all. So this is the next activity, start activity, and for that, after that, finish. The whole process got ended. Okay, now I'm the same application will be shown by Shreya after adding this whole process. So Shreya,
Am I audible?
yeah, Shreya, you are audible. You can continue.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to show them how the authentication means it's gonna work or in an app. Okay, wait for a second. Is my screen visible? Is it visible? Hello?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. So means it's the meme app, and we have integrated that means authentication part in it. So now let us see how it works, means how it looks when we will run it in our app. So let's run it. So it's the entire section of that authentication. Okay, so if I click here, so see, means I get this small screen where I can opt for any of my Gmail account. So let me choose this one. So login is successful, means the Firebase has authenticated me and I have entered in my app. So means it's how it looks here. Now let us see what means actually happens in the Firebase side. Okay. So let me show you that part also. Okay. So means it's the Firebase part. So if I'll see in the authentication, yeah, so see, you can see my email ID is there, means it has authenticated me, and that also using Google authentication, and the date you can see that, and this is my user ID. So means if you want to test me whether I am lying or it has actually worked, let me delete it. Okay, I'm deleting my account, you can see it clearly. Okay. Okay, so it has been now deleted. Yeah, it has been deleted, and now you can see that it's no more there. Now let me means log in again. Okay, so I'll show you my Android Studio again. Okay. Okay, so let me launch my app again. Okay, so let me sign in. Okay, now I'm going to sign in with my another email ID. Yeah, so login is successful. Okay, now let us move to our, is it visible? Is it visible? Okay, so now let us move to our Firebase console again. Okay, so let me refresh it. Okay, so now you can see this is means my new mail ID through which I have logged in now. So you can see how it's working. So means it's authenticating the user properly. So you can also use all these features in your app with the help of the by integrating Firebase. So means hope you are going to means experiences it as soon as possible. So that was that was all about today's session, so let's meet tomorrow. Okay, thank you. And whatever doubts you have, or you can ask in the group as well as the chat section. Agrim, you can end the stream now.